Welcome back to the next multiplayer round of the strategy game Cossacks 2 Battle for Europe, which takes place in the Napoleonic Wars. Today we're going to see a Lancer who is playing for Prussia, taking it up with one of the top players of the game, Inquisitor. He's the general of the Grande Armée and is playing for France in that match. He's located on the other side of the map. It's a pretty big map. And in the center of the map you can see a small foreign city which the players have to cross in order to have a short way to the enemy territory. So France is building their barracks and is training the National Guard, which is the cheapest unit for that nation. And let's see what's Lancer doing. He has also built the barracks and is training musketeers and also some chasseurs. They are pretty good to scout the map and see the activities of your opponent, where he's heading with his troops, for example. And now Lancer has built the stables and is building the market and also the academy and also a dwelling. Let's see what's Inquisitor doing. He has built stores here right next to his start food village. And he also already built the blacksmiths in order to be able to build the market, because that's necessary when you play for France, which is kind of annoying because you have a pretty late market, so to say, and the market is very good at the beginning to quickly exchange resources. And now you can see a somewhat unusual procedure, because Inquisitor is now training the Voltigeurs as his second unit, and they are pretty expensive. I can show it. Okay, he's the white player. So they cost 50 food compared to only 20 food, which are the costs for a Fusilier. So I tend to train the Fusilier unit, but the Voltigeurs have the advantage that they have a very high shot damage, 140 compared to 100 of the average units. So Inquisitor was able to capture that food village, that neutral food village with his National Guard, and he sends them to the coal village on the bottom of the map in order to capture it. And Lancer on the other side was able to capture that neutral food village on the left side of the map with his musketeers. And his other musketeer unit is going straight for the iron village. So iron is really important for Prussia. So it's good to capture a neutral iron village with that nation pretty early in the game. And Lancer has built some sappers, some combat engineers, and I think he wants to build a blockhouse here in the near of the food village. But there will be the first fight probably, because Inquisitor is sending his Voltigeur units in. He can capture that coal village, that will not be a problem, and then he might send his unit here to the food village. And now you can see Lancer is building the blockhouse with his combat engineers, and meanwhile the National Guard of Inquisitor is going for the neutral gold village here. And the first cavalry unit is up for Prussia and is sent to the food village.
New dwellings are needed.
And the Voltigeurs are advancing and forming a line, but they are not attacking at the moment. There you can see the sappers of Inquisitor. He's trying to do the same and also wants to protect his food village by building a blockhouse right next to it. And Prussia
The foe's approaching.
is trying to be aggressive, but on the other side we have to cover that action. So the voltigeurs are maneuvering and the Prussian cavalry is sent to the food village here, I think, and can support that musketeer squad of Prussia. But the voltigeurs are advancing. They were shooting against the Prussian musketeers and they nearly managed to frighten them, but now it all goes into melee attack and they are fighting it out.
The enemy's close.
So Inquisitor seems to be
The enemy's close.
very certain that he will win that fight and sends his other voltigeur units away.
The village was captured by the enemy.
And here I missed a little fight. The Prussian musketeers were able to frighten the other voltigeur unit, which was coming on that road.
The soldiers are unable.
And the mounted hussars of France were shooting the Prussian musketeers. We're now reloading. And now Lancer has the problem that Inquisitor was able to
Soldiers panicked and ran away. The enemy is not
capture
far
that
away.
food village. And now the Prussian musketeers are in a pretty bad position and are getting attacked by the French cavalry and also by the French infantry and will lose the fight certainly.
Turn back, flee.
So Lancer is concentrating now on that other food village. He wants to capture it back. He has one Black Corps unit attacking the decimated voltigeur unit. He's also attacking with his cavalry. He was faking attack there.
Captured the village.
Now they shot the French infantry and are doomed because the Prussian cavalry will send them home. Meanwhile, Inquisitor is sending his other voltigeur unit here to the gold village of Lancer in order to capture it. And you can see
The enemy
the
is near our
French
village.
cavalry is now a little bit advancing.
New dwellings are needed.
Here the next voltigeur unit of Inquisitor is moving on the road, heading to the food village. The next
The enemy has
cavalry
retaken the
unit for
village.
Lancers up, the mounted hussars. And now the mounted hussars of France are shooting the Black Corps, who are also shooting. And the French cavalry retreated a little bit. And the voltigeurs are now advancing and trying to attack the Prussian cavalry. But on the other side we have a little fight here on the left flank of the map, on the left side of the map. So a Black Corps unit against a voltigeur unit, which is sitting now in square formation and has a defensive bonus. And now the voltigeur unit was able to frighten the Black Corps unit, which were trying to capture that coal village of Inquisitor. And the Prussian cavalry now has to retreat to the food village. The first grenadier unit is up for France, heading to the center of the map. We can take a quick look on the city and economy of France. So I think Inquisitor built the second town center for France, but okay, he has already built the palace. I nearly missed that.
The enemy has been spotted near our village.
So the palace is very good
Our
because
troop strength is fading.
it provides you
We
with
lose the
extra
village.
gold income, and grenadiers cost gold. Here you could see the voltigeur unit of France was shooting and frightened one cavalry unit of Prussia, which was disintegrating after that. And now Inquisitor was able to capture that food village, which formerly belonged to Lancer, and he also destroyed the blockhouse with his grenadiers. And now the Black Corps is pretty much doomed because it's getting attacked by 2 squads of French cavalry. Lancer on the left side of the map, he's forming a defensive line in order to protect that iron village against the voltigeurs. And now you can see a Black Corps against grenadiers. The grenadiers shot already and are now getting killed by the Black Corps and in support the Prussian cavalry. So 3 cavalry units are now up for Lancer. Inquisitor is bringing in more troops. The next grenadier unit is up for him, heading to the food village again, I think. But there's more cavalry units for Lancer, now 4 cavalry units. So that's a very nice thing about Prussia. You are able to train a lot of troopers. And now 1 line of musketeers are shooting the voltigeurs. They're shooting back. And the French cavalry is attacking the Prussian musketeers. But the Prussian cavalry is ready for a counterattack and is hopefully able to repel Inquisitor's cavalry, and that was successful. And now 1 squad of grenadiers tried to attack, but they are getting also shot by the Black Corps, but they are too strong in melee attacks, so they can send the Black Corps home. But now they are getting attacked by the Prussian cavalry and they are disintegrating. So now Lancer should have won back that food village when he kills the civil police here guarding that food village. So the grenadiers are up for Inquisitor. He has also built a blockhouse here in front of his barracks. But he hasn't much cavalry left, so that's good news for Lancer. But on the other side, Lancer hasn't got much infantry because they were all disintegrating, especially the Black Corps units. And without infantry, it's very hard to occupy villages and hold positions. So let's see how the fight develops between the 2 players. So the grenadiers are now trying to attack the Prussian cavalry, I think. And Inquisitors also bringing in 1 cavalry unit. And the grenadiers are able to drive the Prussian cavalry back.
Enemy is at rifles firing distance.
And on the left side of the map you can see Lancer is trying to flank the voltigeurs, which are holding a defensive position here to protect the goat village. And in the center we can see Prussian grenadiers, which are who are advancing to the food village. Also another Black Corps unit is ready for Lancer. And now we can see a fight here in the center of the map. Grenadiers against grenadiers. They are exchanging volley fire and the French grenadiers are retreating. The Prussian cavalry, 1 squad of mounted hussars, are attacking. Okay, I wanted to press another key. You can see it here. The Prussian cavalry should be able to send the grenadiers home And on the other side we can see
Enemy squad flees and
French cavalry is attacking Prussian cavalry, which is no longer retreating and it's going for the fight. But they have the problem that the French grenadiers, which are highly effective in melee attack, are advancing. So the Prussian cavalry has to escape. And here we can see the Prussian troops are advancing on the main line and are standing pretty near to the French barracks. But a problem is that the cavalry units of Prussia aren't united, so they aren't that strong, because you can see one group of cavalry for Prussia here and another group of cavalry of Prussia here, and that's not good, because you always should try to work together with your units and
the enemy is
make
not
them
far away.
most effective. And on the other hand, the Prussian cavalry group here has to reload. So the Black Corps is now sent into the fight. And finally the other group of Prussian cavalry is joining the fight.
The squad is
It's a pretty hard fight in the forest. It's hard to tell who has the upper hand, but I think Prussia.
hooray! The enemy is
And now the next grenadier unit of France is attacking. And that's a problem, because I think the Prussian cavalry units haven't fully reloaded, so they are retreating, and the Black Corps is attacking the French grenadiers. And now the French grenadiers are also shooting, and Lancer sends in his Prussian cavalry, which is now pretty much decimated. And another French grenadier squad came out of nowhere. I don't know. It was here in the center, I think, and can also attack the Prussian troops and can send them home. So this food village, which it's really important, still belongs to Inquisitor. So Lancer has only one food village. You can see it here, his start food village. He has increased it to the second level. So more workers produce food for him, and he has also sent a lot of peasants to the cornfield in order to compensate a little bit for the missing food villages. And now Inquisitor was victorious and can now advance with his troops. So one grenadier unit is up, and one unit of mounted Uhlans. And here you can see Lancer is sending one grenadier unit on the left top corner of the map, to the left top corner of the map, in order to gain the upper hand here, because that one Black Corps unit won't be enough to win that gold village back. But there's also the threat for his homeland, because now Inquisitor is quickly
Our gun is neutral.
advancing, and he will easily destroy that blockhouse of Prussia with the grenades of his grenadier unit. And the
Foe has entered the
light cannon here wasn't really helpful either.
The village is
And
under
now
enemy
Inquisitor was
control.
able to capture that iron village. And let's see. The Voltigeur unit here was shooting the Black Corps and could nearly frighten them. There are only 37 soldiers left, which is
A gun.
pretty low. And the Grenadiers are now attacking the Voltigeurs in line, but it's too hard for them because they have a defensive bonus. You can see it here. So they won't be successful.
The troops cannot fire.
And Lancer's now trying to flank the unit and going right around that building and attacking them from behind. Meanwhile, Inquisitor was able to frighten that grenadier unit of Prussia, which was defending here on that position, I think. So now Lancer has 3 cavalry units up after his loss of nearly all of his horses. And now we can see the grenadiers are not successful because there's another Voltigeur unit arriving just in time for Inquisitor, and they could make the grenadiers flee from the battlefield. So that flank, the left flank, now is open for Lancer. Another big strike for him. And now Inquisitor is advancing with his main army. Lancer is trying to do everything he can, and he has built a blockhouse here, 2 towers here, and he's retreating a little bit with his cavalry might. So 2 French grenadier units are fighting against 2 Prussian grenadier units, both exchanging volley fire. Both are getting demoralized a little bit. And now the French grenadiers threw their grenades, which demoralized the Prussian grenadiers even more. And now the Prussian cavalry is attacking, while the French cavalry was frightening that Prussian grenadiers. And now the cavalry units are fighting it out. And the Prussian cavalry would have been victorious if there wouldn't be 2 French grenadier units. So Lancer had to give up now. He lost nearly all of his troops, and Inquisitor was in a much better position. So that was the game. I hope you found it interesting. And please subscribe to my channel and like the video. We'll see us in the next video, and take care.